what sustainability innovation are you most excited about and why?
Well, Catherine, thank you for this question. I'm very excited to be here with you today. At Dassault System, as a 3D experience company, we offer solution and software for our 300,000 customers to help them face their needs and challenges in optimization of their processes. And so in terms of sustainability, we can help them, and I'm most excited about three main items. One is that through our software, we can provide data intelligence and orchestration. This morning at the session, we were all talking about the fact that with increased regulation and demands, the EU taxonomy, there's more and more data that we need to gather. But customers need to be able to make sense of that data and to organize it, both market analysis, but also internally. So what we do through our software, we are able to provide an overall view, a tool for decision makers to arbitrate between optimization of the raw material, the cost, and the CO2 emissions. So I'm very excited about that. And I don't know if you're familiar with that saying, but 80% of, there was a study made recently that says that 80% of CEOs really want to act on sustainability, but 20% of them don't know exactly how to do that. And a big first step to acting on sustainability is being able to have the right tool for the decision making. So that's the first way in which we are helping them. Another way is through simulation. So we have very strong capabilities of simulation softwares. And through those simulation, ultimately what we are able to do is to remove the physical prototyping before a product is put to use. And obviously that saves a lot in material resources, water, waste. And so we have a great example of a big French ski company that was able in 2 years to go from an average of 100 prototypes for one ski pair to 10 and then to 0, to only doing the prototypes virtually. So that saves a lot of energy, and that helps, of course, for sustainability. And finally, another way in which we're helping is our virtual twins capabilities. And through our virtual twin capabilities, what we are able to do is to digitize and simulate at all levels that our customers need. Because what do our customers need in terms of sustainability? They need to design a product in a more sustainable way. They need to make sure that the manufacturing of that product is made in the most sustainable way. And then they need to ensure that their supply chain is also sustainable. And through the virtual twin experience, we are able to simulate and to optimize at all those three levels. So I'm really excited about those three technologies specifically.
So thinking beyond the set of innovations, what do you see as the key challenges and needs that organizations are going to need as they push towards net zero?
Well, that's a great question, and it really depends on the size of your company, obviously. I think but at an overall, if you take a step back, overall, the first thing is that we'll need collaboration to reach net zero. And we are all interdependent to one another because we are all one or the other scope 3. So my scope 3 has a certain people, but I'm the scope 3 of somebody else. So we are all very interdependent on the road to net zero. That's the first thing. So collaboration will be key. I think another element that's key will be transparency and a good visibility on standards at a global level. So what we are seeing is that the European Union with the EU taxonomy and the EU Green New Deal is taking a step forward in terms of imposing standards and stringency, and we welcome that. As long as the standards are clear and transparent, the more stringent they become, the more incentive everybody has to move towards net zero. But so what we need basically is a normalization of the standards, uniformization of those standards, and collaboration.
And what role do you see education and the future generations playing in this journey?
Yeah, well, that's also a great question, because it is true that the moving technologies, the fact that digitization will be such an important part of the solution means that we'll need an increasing number of engineering, mathematical, science-based skills. And there's a big challenge in making sure that the new workforce of the future are educated in those areas. And actually at Dassault System we collaborate with a lot of schools. We also have a huge challenge in that regard, in making sure that that workforce is also very diversified. And as you know, unfortunately at the global level, only 17% of the workforce in science and technology companies, 17% of the workforce is women. And so we are doing a lot trying to make sure that more women take on that direction of STEM education as well.
So we've spoken about innovation, we've spoken about challenges. What we haven't spoken about is policy. If you could implement one policy today to push the world forward on its sustainability goals, what would it be?
Well, I think companies have been saying that for a long time, but a true carbon price that's global and that's at the right level will be the best way to put in place proper incentive for everyone to move ahead. And to also create a level playing field for all players, because what I didn't touch on is the difficulty and the challenge that some of the rising standards can bring for smaller size enterprise. And with the right carbon price, you get the right finance in place, and that can help them to finance their transition to more digitization and to a more sustainable way of moving forward.
Thank you, Philippine, for joining me today, and enjoy the rest of Sustainability Week.